Hi, my name is Tyvis Powell, former Ohio State Buckeye and national champion DB. Welcome to the Buckeye Cast. These guys was born and bred in the Buckeye State, and they like to talk Buckeye football and drink bourbon. Subscribe to the show. Now pour up a drink and pull up a stool. Here's your host, Joe Warwick. Get him, Joe.
What's up? Welcome into your Buckeye Rush Hour for a Friday, August 23rd, 2024. Glad you're here. Please pop in the comments, leave your messages. I will get to them. We'll put them up on screen. We are live on Twitter. I can confirm that. We are live on YouTube today. I can confirm that. Instagram, I don't know what the hell is going on over there, but good luck if you're over there looking for the show. We'll iron out the kinks with Instagram. It's like two people that might be affecting. Anyway, let's talk some high school football. We got to talk some Friday Night Lights. This is a big kickoff weekend for Ohio football, high school football, that is. Then we're going to talk some possible flips from this Ohio State 2025 class. Just a few. Not a lot. And then after that, we do have a big announcement coming tomorrow. Looks like it's leaning the Buckeyes' way. Things are looking good for us. And if we if we want to talk about, let's see, we could talk about Georgia Tech, Florida State a little bit. I will ask the chat, and if you're watching on any of the other platforms, please give me your score. Or at least give me your prediction. Florida State's favored by 10.5 against Georgia Tech over in Ireland tomorrow. It's a nooner, 5 o'clock their time, I think, 5 or 6 p.m. So what do you think? Do you take FSU with and the cover, or take Georgia Tech and all those points? I don't know what Georgia Tech has under the hood. Obviously, DJU is Florida State's quarterback this year, but they lost some guys last year, some weapons and stuff. So we'll see what DJU has around him in Tallahassee, or in Dublin, as it were. But first off, let's kick it off. There were some big games last night across the country. We'll get to the Ohio stuff here in a second, but Corner Canyon, Devin Brown's high school, upsets IMG, the number 3 school in the country, 35-34. Jerome Miles has a Buckeye offer. He's a wide receiver, 5-star. He brought in 3 touchdowns last night against IMG. So big win there for Corner Canyon. And then Mater Dei, they beat up on Centennial out of Corona. Jordan Davison had a nice 44-yard touchdown run. 5-star receiver Chris Henry Jr. had a nice Moss catch touchdown, Moss style, in the back corner of the end zone over top of a dude that had no chance. What else? We got Milton out of Georgia. They face American Heritage on ESPN this weekend. That's tonight, actually. Let's see, who else? Oh, Buford played them last year. You got St. Thomas Aquinas against St. John Bosco. That's going to be a good one. That's Bishop Gorman at St. Thomas Aquinas. Then you got St. John Bosco at Chaminade Madonna Prep. So some high level schools there getting after it. St. John Bosco is a number 4 team in the country. Chaminade Madonna is number 9. So those are some good ones. I don't know if they're on ESPN or not, but anyway, Bishop Gorman's already played a game. So those guys have already started their season. And let's get into the state of Ohio, some of the big Buckeye commits in the state of Ohio that have games. You got Akron-Hoban, so linebacker Eli Lee. They're going to take on Archbishop Spalding from Maryland. Severn, Maryland tonight. Spalding, you'll get nothing and like it. I want a hot dog. I want a cheeseburger. Anyway, then you got our guy from the 419, Carter Lowe from Toledo Whitmer. They're taking on Dublin Coffin. That's a good game. That's up in Toledo. You got BP Miller, wide receiver commit. He is going to Mansfield, Lexington. I can't talk tonight. I haven't had enough coffee today or something, or enough alcohol. Maybe that's it. Who else you got here? Buckeye running back commit Bo Jackson and Villa Angela St. Joseph. They're going to Canton Glen Oak, so another Northeast Ohio battle. Then you got Ignatius taking on Avon tonight. Cody Haddad, the Buckeye safety commit, taking part in that. And then this guy has a Buckeye offer. He's a wide receiver, Preston Bowman from Pick North. So Pickerington North is hosting Lakewood St. Ed's, the reigning Division I champs in the state of Ohio. So that's tonight as well. So get out there and see yourself some Buckeye commits. All right, now shifting gears, let's talk a little bit of I don't know. I wouldn't call it bad news, just on pins and needles, kind of wait and see what happens kind of news. So we got some potential flips here out of this 2025 class. Obviously, these guys are all out of state. It's rare that the Buckeyes lose a commitment to an in-state guy. That never happens, actually. But Jarquez Carter, yeah, need some vodka after that. Jarquez Carter, the D tackle out of Florida. He lives up by Gainesville. He picked the Buckeyes over Florida and Miami back on July 18th. He's one of those disruptive defensive tackles, can play either D tackle position, has a rare first step and violent hands. He's one of those quick big men that they make in the South only, seemingly. He's one of those dudes that you need on your team, especially on the D line, because those guys aren't just walking around the planet every day. So after he picked Ohio State, he took another visit to Florida 10 days after that announcement. He'll visit Florida again for their opener against Miami in a couple weeks. But he says he's solidly committed to Ohio State, Carter says. So, but if he lives less than an hour from Gainesville, he has future visits that he's planning as well. We'll see. It doesn't make me feel good when he lives very close to Gainesville. I think Florida is probably the big issue there, more than Miami, though. Zahir Mathis, let's talk about him, the D end out of Philly. He visited the Buckeyes for their spring game in April. He's been to Penn State a couple times since then. He took an official visit. He took an official to Penn State in June. He plans to return to Columbus for his official visit during the season, though, coming up. So he has not finalized a date yet. So the old adage, watch what they do, not what they say, So let's pay attention to this one, see if he does actually make that visit. He says he wants to stay true to his commitment to Larry Johnson. He's close with LJ, so we'll see. Now, the big issue, and unfortunately the deciding factor in this one, is NIL. So if Penn State gets their shit together on the NIL side, then they could make an aggressive offer, and that is going to be hard for him to turn down. So Mathis could be back in Happy Valley for at least one more game this fall, and they're definitely the biggest threat in this. If he does flip, it's 99% Penn State. So we'll see what happens there. But there's no guarantees that Penn State's going to get their NIL figured out. So they seem to be scraping together every nickel, dime, and quarter out of the couch cushions they can find. TJ Alford, the other one, linebacker out of Vero Beach. He's saying and doing the right things. He's built a strong bond with Riley Pettijohn, the other Buckeye linebacker commit from Texas. So Alfred says he'll be in Columbus at least once during the season for the Michigan game. He's working on a visit for another game as well, so that's good news. The good thing about getting guys in for the Michigan game is that signing day is early this year. They moved it up. It's like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I think, right after the Michigan game. It's like December 3rd, 4th, 5th, 4th, 5th, 6th, something like that. So regardless, it's in between that, the Michigan game and the Big Ten championship game the following week. So getting guys on campus right before the early signing day is key. Now, back to Alfred here. He's going to make an official visit to Florida State in mid-September. Miami's been considered the other likely flip candidate option, but there's been more buzz around Florida State. He actually lives closer to Miami, so I don't know. Whatever. Anyways, so James Laurinaitis is going to have to do whatever he can to keep Alfred in this class. Some people close to TJ Alford want him to stay closer to home, of course. And as signing day gets closer, the feeling to stay close to home is going to get stronger. Those family members are going to, push a little harder probably. So keep your fingers and toes crossed on TJ Alford as well. And the last one here, Naeem Alford. Now, we've heard a lot about him visiting all over the country. Sorry, golf is on. It's the playoffs. 5-star corner, Naeem Alford. He committed back in February to the Buckeyes, but this roller coaster is going to continue through the season. Alford has visited multiple schools multiple times, but he's been upfront and honest with Coach Walt about every single visit. So there hasn't been any surprises or anything that the Buckeyes can be upset about. They're going to allow their commits to visit other schools. Now, Alford's going to visit Oregon for the Ohio State game coming up October 12th in Eugene. So that's going to be interesting, especially if we go out there and smoke their ass. That might sway make him think twice about that visit. Anyways, Oregon obviously is creating the most buzz for Alford. Auburn, though, could be the team to watch here because they're so close to home for him. He took visits to Alabama and Auburn multiple times. Makes sense. Close to home, of course. But repeated unofficial visits to Oregon, those aren't cheap. You have to pay your way on unofficial visits. So, of course, we know, especially these 5-star guys, they're getting reimbursed somehow, or at least they're getting a bag. They're getting something for the effort. They're not just showing up, and dropping thousands of dollars to get from Alabama to freaking Oregon. I mean, that's probably at least one connection, maybe two. I don't know. But you can be sure he's getting reimbursed for that. He's not just dumping thousands of dollars. So Tim Walton's still confident that Alford's going to sign with the Buckeyes in December. So again, watch what they do, not what they say. Let's see if we can get him back on campus this fall for a game or two. Ideally, the Michigan game, something like that. Get him and his family. Remember, he brought like 20 family members up to his official to Columbus this summer. So he needs to visit Columbus rather than take more visits to Auburn and Alabama and Oregon, of course. So those are the guys I'm watching on Flip Watch. So I'm going to get to your chat in just a second. I'm keeping an eye out on those guys. I see everybody rolling in. I love it. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Hey, don't be afraid to like and subscribe the show and share it with a friend. That would be awesome. We're trying to get up to 3,500 subscribers by next Saturday. I don't know if we can do it. I think we can. Can you do it? You guys got to do something around here, man. You can't just sit there. I'm just teasing. All right. Next up, let's talk O-line commitment. Hey, look at that. Now let's dispense with the the typical Justin Fry banging. Nobody needs to bang on Justin Fry right now. He looks like he's going to land a 4-star interior O lineman here. Javon McFadden out of the DC area, 6'5", 300 pounds. He's a 4-star, 8.912, just got in there. Rivals has him ranked in the top 250 nationally, number 5 player in the state, number 12 interior O lineman. So he's got offers from a ton of D1 schools. He's got like 20, over 20. Yeah, Penn State, Colorado, of course, douchebags. Florida, Maryland, the home state schools and shit. So, but I feel good about this. We did just get 3 crystal balls today, I believe, to Ohio State for McFadden. He's announcing tomorrow. I got to check a time on that. They don't have it listed here. I think it's midday. He seems pretty low key. Remember, Ohio State was the only official visit he took, so that bodes well as well. His finalists were Ohio State, Maryland, South Carolina, and Colorado. So I feel good. Ohio State's recruiting him as a swing guy, he says, either a guard or a tackle. They got him listed as an interior guy. I think he probably stays on the interior. But a lot of times they like to tell guys, oh, yeah, you can play tackle. And back in their minds, they're like, you're never going to fucking play tackle, man. But anyways, so yeah, looks like McFadden could be the next Buckeye tomorrow. We'll find out. Oh, what else we got going on here? We got some other little things we can get into. Let's check on the chat first, though, as we get into it. All right, let's start from the top. Let me check and make sure. Let's see what's going on over here in the Twitter machine. Looks like it's still going. How about that? Who's watching? How many people are watching over here? I don't know. We'll figure it out later, I guess. Anyway, Billy is first one in. He says, Lathan days away till kickoff. That means 8. If you're not up on your Ohio State Buckeye jersey numbers, Lathan Ransom. Steven's in. He says, I can't wait. I'm with you guys there. Yes, sir, Billy. I-O. Keep them coming. Are you in Columbus? No, I'm not. Sometimes I wish it was, especially this time of year. It's so GD hot. In Florida, west coast of Florida, the other west coast. Billy says, do we cover? Cover what? The 50.5 over Akron? I don't think so. No, I'm not. I would not recommend that. Billy's in the San Diego area. With me, which means a whale's vagina. What the hell? What the hell's going on? Steven says 63-0. Okay. That's aggressive. I'll take it. So I'm guessing you're going to take the cover there. Steven says Lake Cumberland, Kentucky. Here. Okay. Down there in Bourbon country, huh? Love that. Billy says, I'll take that. Probably good that I can't bet in California. Yeah, Steven and Billy have their own conversation going on here, but keep popping them up here till we get some new comments. Steven says, hope to see 1 or 2, but we shall see. Pricing, LOL. Oh, Buckeye games, yeah, no kidding. Billy says, when I went to OSU, student season pass was $25. Wow. That's awesome. Trip down memory lane, Billy. Christopher's in. He says, Fry pretty much said that McFadden is committing this weekend. Yeah, he didn't really hold back on that one. Fry's trying to get everybody off of him, Give me a goddamn break is what he's saying. Christopher says, and I think we land Bell next weekend. I agree. August 31st, week from tomorrow. Game day. Looks like it's between the Buckeyes and USC. Question is, does he want to leave home? I don't know. We'll see how badly he wants to be, to get in Brian Hartline's room. But I agree with you, Christopher. Christopher says Carter is not flipping. Watch his interview with Juck. Okay, that's easy to say in an interview. Again, watch what they do, not what they say, man. I'm gonna watch the visits for sure. But I will check out Juck's interview. Big interview guy, Juck is. So Christopher says Mathis is TH the one. Steven says, Christopher, I agree. I saw that interview too. All right. Christopher says Mathis and Offord is who I'm worried about. Exactly. Yeah, both those guys, unfortunately. Christopher says it sounds like the Michigan game is going to be a huge visit weekend. Yeah, it is. Especially because we expect to win and win big time. So it's going to be a party. Yeah, it's going to be a monster. It's going to be interesting to see, if we can get these four guys that are flip candidates, if we can get those guys in for the Michigan game, I think that just all but locks them up to sign with the Buckeyes a few days later. Billy says, in 8 days, we won't be talking about recruiting for a while. No, you never know. Never know. I like to talk about the commits, the Buckeye commits, especially when they got games on Friday nights. I like to run down, how they did last weekend, who they have coming up this week, stuff like that. Christopher says, no, they get paid to visit. There's even word that Oregon offered them $50,000 to visit. Yeah, I've heard those $50,000 numbers thrown around quite a bit, not just for Offord, but for other guys too. I think McNutt comes to mind. So yeah, that's not unusual, and he's definitely not going there for $0. Billy says, how do you compete with that? Well, I guess you play the long game with kids. You lay out a plan. You give them your plan as a position coach, or Ryan Day as the head coach. You're like, our strategy is to get you to the league. Like the Sanchez family always says. They repeat this all the time. They're not about NIL. They're about NFL, right? So they don't need quick dollars right now. Now, some kids do. I don't know if Offord is that hard up for money. I don't know, but I understand if you're going to get $50K just to go show up. I mean, imagine how much money Jeremiah Smith made last year, a year ago at this time. That's why he was constantly on Miami's campus, Florida State, Florida. He was all over the place. Obviously, he's making money, but you gotta kind of pound it into these recruits' head that are you about NIL, you getting paid right now, or are you about the NFL, getting developed, maybe being out of here in 3 years? Every kid thinks they're going to the league. 1% of them make it, but they all think they're going. So you got to find the right kids. It's not easy. I mean, look at Jordan Seaton last year, Brandon Baker, another one. These guys chose the NIL route. So anybody that chooses Colorado is 100% choosing the NIL route. There's no question about it. There is nothing else good going on up there. They're not going to win 5 games this year. They're not going to make a bowl. Deion's probably gonzo after this year. Shadeur is gone. Travis is gone. So, yeah, I think Deion's gone for sure. But anyways, that's how you combat the the bag's getting dropped. Billy says Berm thinks we have a real chance to flip DeBose, Micah DeBose, yeah, from Alabama, born in Cleveland. I agree. I don't know how good our chances are. Berm would know better than I, but I did hear that, and he's been kind of solid on that Micah DeBose bandwagon for a while now, not just this week, but for weeks and weeks. He's been on the Micah DeBose possible flip. I don't know. I would love it, but I can't. I can't. I can't call it. That's a tough one, man. He committed to Bama. You know, it really depends on what he wants. Kalen DeBoer's really picked it up over the last month or two with the recruiting, so they're doing well. It really depends on what kind of competition is there in the room. If Bama already has, I don't know who they have committed right now off the top of my head on the O-line, but I would definitely be concerned if I were him about how many dudes Bama's going to bring in that O-line class. Now, the Buckeyes, on the other hand, have plenty of room. We only have 2 commits right now, probably a third tomorrow, but we only have 1 tackle committed. You definitely need 2. And if you're DeBose, you can play some tackle maybe. I don't know. Christopher says, so Fry mentioned putting out more offers after 3rd week of the season. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, you got to see at least a few games of these guys going against some hopefully good competition. You don't want these mismatch games where guys are just getting steamrolled, So see if there's some of these seniors that you can come in late on, especially Ohio guys. Maybe they get a boost in the rating, so maybe they're not, low 3 stars or something like that. But they always wanted to play for the Buckeyes, similar to Jake Cook. But the thing is, you're kind of running into a point where, and most O-linemen are developmental to some degree. It's rare you can get an O-lineman that's ready to start week 1 as a freshman. That doesn't happen much. So we'll see. He does. He obviously has to put out more offers, and I'm sure he's well aware. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I'm going to pay close attention to who he offers specifically. Steven's up. He says, who is Penn State's whiteout game this year, and is that the game Mathis is going to? I want to say, shit. Let me pull that up. It's not Ohio State. I know that. Penn. I want to say it's obviously in that game. I want to say, is it USC? No, that's at USC. They're at Wisconsin. Maybe Washington. You don't have a lot to choose from here. Illinois comes to town. UCLA. Washington. Maryland. But remember, supposedly they don't do night games in November in the Big Ten. So that takes out Washington, that takes out Maryland. So I think it's got to be like UCLA, which, no thanks. Do you really need a whiteout game against freaking UCLA, man? It's another team that's not going to win 5 games. Ugh. Let me see if I can get a definite answer on that real quick without digging too far. Okay, here it is. Whiteout is November 9th against Washington. I was completely wrong. Apparently, we are playing night games in November. Okay. That what used to be a rule, anyways. So there you go. November 9th against Washington. Christopher says they have 5 linemen and 2 5-star tackles. Bama does. That seems like a loaded room, right? Jeez. I guess how bad do you want to stay close to home, DeBose? the boys. Thanks for the input there, Christopher. I appreciate it. Christopher says, I wonder if Heartline will be able to get Jerome Miles for a visit. He is good for sure. Yeah, he just put up 3 touchdowns, man, last night against IMG. Hello. But he has, I think, 3 crystal balls right now to Utah. Looks like he's going to stay home. Not sure why. They don't throw the ball either. But ground and pound. It's like kids committing to the cheaters, you know. Why are you doing that? You think you're going to catch 50 balls in a year? No. You'd be lucky to catch 50 in a career up there. But yes, I really would like to get Miles. We'll see if Heartline can turn that one around in the Buckeyes' favor. Billy says Berm also said it's a possibility that McFadden could bring in Seton because of the dysfunction at Colorado. That's true. I believe they go to the same school. They're both from the DC area, regardless, and they're friends. So that would be interesting if they could turn Seton around again. You know, you gotta keep these relationships fresh and keep the communication lines open because you never know when somebody's going to pop in the portal. So, and I think Seton's really going to be leaning towards going somewhere after he sees Colorado, win 4 or 5 games this year. So that could get interesting. Would love to see Seton in a Buckeye uniform, but is he all about the NIL? You know, did he start last year as a true freshman? Let's check it out. There's got to be some stats on this guy, right? Let's see what we got here. Number 77, 6'5", 285. So he's still not over 300 pounds, according to the Colorado website. Oh, that's right. He went to IMG, but he's from DC. Yeah. There's nothing here. 2023, no stats. Yeah, I'm not sure he started or played much as a freshman. So, yeah. Let's check and see what's going on over here on Twitter. Instagram Live still. Okay, we got 3 in the Twitter box. I can't see their comments. So. All right. Back to the chat. Done dog sitting finally at 4 o'clock today. That was nice. Not a fan of the little yippy dogs, for the record. All right. Next up, Christopher says, looks like Trajan Odom teammates, twin brothers are visiting Ohio State. Okay, that sounds good. Bring them all. We got to work that DMV area, right? Excuse me. Billy says Seton is a freshman this. Oh, that's right. He was 24. My bad. My bad. My bad. My bad. Yes. Thank you, Christopher. I was getting a class ahead of myself. I thought we already played the 2024 season. Buckeyes won the national championship. Weren't you guys there? You missed it? Sorry. Don't know what to tell you. Oh, what else is happening? Some other good games coming up. Some highly ranked teams. Tonight you got John Bosco, we talked about. Coco is over they're playing Titusville. Those are like neighboring cities over on the East Coast. That's at 7 p.m. You got St. Francis Academy in Baltimore. They're taking Central Catholic in Pittsburgh. It is Saturday at 3:30. You got Miami Central tonight at 7 against Lakeland. That's a banger. That's a good one. St. Joe's Prep in Philly is off this week. Sierra Canyon in in Chatsworth. They're taking on J. Sarah Catholic, San Juan Capistrano. That's tonight. Well, Bergen Catholic's off. Buford takes on Benedictine Savannah, Georgia. Savannah, Georgia. Berkeley Prep over in Tampa, they're taking on Clearwater. That's a local little banger. What else we got here? Folsom against Long Beach Poly. I don't know. Who cares? So there's some good games nationally this evening and this weekend. So did anybody call the cover here? What's the prediction for the Georgia Tech Florida State game? Florida State's favored by 10.5. What do you guys think? I know I barely care about it too. I'm probably gonna be out running around doing shit tomorrow, so I'm not even gonna watch the freaking thing. Maybe the back end of it. Steven says Harris twins. I think one is a tackle and the other is a guard. All right, let's get the twins. What if we had two sets of twins, man? That's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? More twins, the better. Christopher says it'd be nice to get him in the portal, and I bet Day will hit the portal for tackles. Yeah, I agree. It's all you got to start thinking long term. And when you think about 2 or 3 years it takes to develop an O lineman, what if you can cut that time in half by going to the portal to get a guy? You know, like a Josh Simmons, for example. I mean, I did not think Josh Simmons was going to turn into a 2-year starter at left tackle for the Buckeyes. Did you? I doubt it. I know I didn't. So that's surprising. So props to Fry on the development there. Now, um, I think this could be a good long term strategy. Not to go. Maybe you don't need to go into portal every year, but maybe you can go get an O lineman every year out of the portal. If you can get somebody that's worth a shit, not some lowly guy that you know doesn't have anything going on. But I think a strategy that the Buckeyes are going to look at. Billy says we'll definitely be hitting the portal for offensive tackles. Yes. Christopher has Florida State by 14. I like it. I think they're going to roll G Tech. Oh, he says the opposite. He says I'll take G Tech at plus 14. Nice. Spread all the time. Yeah, but if you can get 14, hell yeah, take it. Take it, Billy. I'll see what else we got going on here. Please hit like on the video. Holy crap, nobody's watching. Jeez. Oh, hey, I want to remind everybody Sunday night live show with me, Jeff, and Sean is moved to Monday night. Sunday is Monday. Just this week, Jeff and Sean's in Vegas doing God knows what. Jeff's in Tiffin doing even worse, probably, which is hard to do at Tiffin, but anyway. So those guys are going to be gone all weekend. We're going to do Monday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, Monday, this Monday. What is the date on that? The 26th. There you go. So got your Sunday off. You can go watch Josh Pate, somebody like that, um, somebody respectable, anyways. So yeah. Billy says Haynes King is a good QB. All right. Well, he's going to have to shoulder the entire load. So I think. It looks like it's going to be all Haynes King. Oh, what else you guys want to talk about? You want to sit here while I check my email? My email? Bing, bing. I've been going back and forth with some moronic cheater fan in the comments. I keep telling them to go harder. They love it when I say that. It goes back and forth. You are. No, you are. No, you are. Just keep fucking with them. You got to screw with these guys, man. These guys, these cheater fans, man. I got no time for them. And all your comments on my videos is just growing the channel larger. So I thank you, cheater fans. Love it. They're not a smart bunch, are they? The Walmart Wolverine fans, bunch of douches. And what's going on with that penalty? When's that letter of infractions supposed to hit their desk? You know, I thought that Buckeyes people said any day now. Here it comes. Dropping bombs. Program's going to be sent back to oblivion. Not so much. Anyways, but yeah, I agree. Billy Haynes King's a solid quarterback. What does he have around him though? Is this just a one man gang, or does he have somebody he can work with? Maybe a receiver or something. That's the question. But what else you guys want to talk about? I'm game for anything. Oh, how about two freshmen lost their black stripe this week? Leroy Roker, the safety, uh, Fort Myers, uh, and then wide receiver Milan Graham from Indiana. Both lost their black stripes. Milan Graham might be somebody to watch late in games. Might get some reps. I don't know about Roker. There's a lot of depth in front of him, but um, it's interesting. I always think there's a reason. There is a reason to why they give some of these freshmen they pull their stripe off, and it's interesting. It's like a motivational tool, I know, but um, it does have some like a signify something, you know. But we'll see. Billy says, "Love to see Fresno State at least take them to the wire." The cheaters, yeah, that would be nice. That would be nice. I was looking at some Big Ten regular season win totals here. They got Sparty at 4.5. Whew, it's going to be a rough season in East Landfill. Wisconsin only 6.5. I'm kind of surprised at that. I was kind of thinking about over 6.5 on this one. It's juiced to the over at minus 135. Iowa is at 8. Oh, and what about our guy Kirk Ferentz? Takes a self-imposed one-game suspension for committing a recruiting violation when recruiting Kate McNamara on the court. Was that worth it? Did you really want to stay home that day? I think this is just Kirk Ferentz taking a sick day when he's not really sick. That's what I think. Oh, and the wide receiver coach too. Nobody gives a shit about him. But Kirk Ferentz, Mister by the book, does not bend a rule, break a rule, touch a rule. Busts himself. Respectable, kind of stupid, but respectable. Got no problem with it. What else? Yeah, Black Stripes we talked about. So, hey, say what you want, but if we get Javon McFadden tomorrow, that's an out of state commit. Justin Fry, feather in the cap. Just saying. Just saying. Who else we got here? Week one. Let's look at the week one slate. Uh, yeah, we got a lot of garbage. A lot of garbage here. You got to sift through it. Missouri's got an easy game. Kansas an easy game. That's Thursday. Friday. I don't like the college games infringing on the Friday nights, but Wisconsin's got an easy game. Sparty. I think Clemson, Georgia is right there Saturday, next Saturday. That's got to be the game of the day almost. I think it has to be. Clemson's ranked 14th. Um, gets number one Georgia. Penn State, West Virginia. That's going to be a sneaky tough game. Penn State's favored by 8.5 right now, but that could be a sneaky good one. West Virginia, they don't have a lot to play for, but they can get up every once in a while when a big dog comes to town. Let's see, Buckeyes. You got Texas has a garbage game. It's Colorado State. You got the Canes and the Gators. No thanks. I don't care. Uh, it'll be fun to see those fans fight each other, though. It's always good for some fights with the Canes and the Gators. Bama's got an easy one. Ole Miss has an easy one. Notre Dame, A&M. That's a night game, 7:30. I'll be watching that. That looks like a good one. The Cheaters we talked about. That's about all the ranked teams. Yeah, Cupcake City for the most part. But you got a good nooner. You got a good 7:30. Buckeyes are at 3:30, of course. Uh, yeah. So you got some games spread out. I don't know if there's a two screen situation presenting itself. Notre Dame, A&M is favored by 3. So they got the at home field goal advantage. Over under, what do we got here? Where you at? Just freaking looked at you. 46.5. So low scoring affair somewhat. Okay. I'm going to Domers. I think a Domers covers a 3. Um, yeah, I'm taking the Domers. If you're giving me 3 points, I don't think A&M has the horses. Um, this is probably the toughest game on their schedule, um, but I got to go Domers. I think their defense is too good, man. Too good. So take the Domers with the 3. All right, Steven, we appreciate you. Take care. Hopefully, we'll see you Monday night, not Sunday night, Monday night. Go Bucks to you, Steven. Quiet evening on the viewership front. Not looking great. What's happening over here on the Twitter? We got a few people watching. All right, I like it. And as soon as we figure out what's going on with Instagram Live, we'll get a couple people straggling in over there. Facebook, whenever you create, I had to create a new page for the Buckeye Cast because mine just disappeared, into Zuckerberg's ether. So they make you wait 60 days before you're allowed to go live. So middle of the season, we'll be live on Facebook. So I know a lot of people are on there. A lot of Buckeye fans for sure. So look for us there as well. We will always be here on the YouTubers, the YouTubies, Tubies, Boobies. Let's look at some other games. I got some more over-unders. Penn State over-under 10.5 wins. What do you think, Billy? They got a they got a schedule here. I was going to run through that. I just did actually, kind of. So West Virginia, that's a battle. But anyways, they got Bowling Green, Kent State, Illinois, UCLA. That is in Happy Valley. They go to USC. We'll see what USC has under the hood. Um, they go to Wisconsin. Wonder if that's a night game. Buckeyes come to town. Then Washington comes to town after that. That could be a trap game for them after they get their ass kicked the week before. Then they go to Purdue, to Minnesota, then home against Maryland. So I got the Buckeye game as a loss. I really want to see what USC and Wisconsin have because they could be looking at a loss there too, at least one. And then West Virginia. I got them under. I'm going under 10.5. I don't think James Franklin is physically capable of winning more than 10 games. I don't see it. Anybody else? I don't see it. Yeah, same with Aller. Unfortunately, they have not put weapons around Aller. I know they got a great running game, but they their running game is their offensive line's a question mark. You know, um, I'm not too worried about them. Katron Allen, Nick Singleton, excellent running backs, no doubt about it. But if you can't block for them, it doesn't matter. Put Barry Sanders back there. It doesn't matter. You got to block somebody. So, yeah, Aller's not a concern. The receivers are not a concern. You got Tyler Warren, the big tight end, number 44. He's a little bit of a concern, but it's not like he's fast. I mean, he's not going to outrun. He might run with a linebacker. He's not going to outrun him. He's definitely not going to outrun a safety. You know, Lathan Ransom will lock him up all day long. So, um, yeah, Allard just I don't know, man. I feel bad for the kid. Northeast Ohio guy, but it's too bad that he chose Penn State. I wish he would have gone with somebody that can actually develop quarterbacks. You know, Pam says a little concerned about Offord and Mathis. Yes, same here. Same here. That's legit. Um, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Again, how important is an NIL to these guys? They're going to get it no matter where they go. It's just, do you need to get? Does your decision involve picking the highest offer? Do you need to have the highest offer for your ego or for your bank account, whatever, or both, whatever? But is that your deciding factor? You know, Billy says, hope we keep Zahir and Zion so we can have a ZZ top package in a couple of years. I like that. That's a good one. They got TNT this year with Ty Hamilton and Tyleek Williams. They named themselves TNT. Apparently, they got a cool handshake and shit. So, give me ZZ Top next. I like how some moron, one of the beat writers, asked Tyleek if he knew the TNT song by AC/DC. You freaking serious? Do you know how old Tyleek is? Do you know how old that song is? Oh, that was funny. That was funny. Yeah. ZZ Top. Billy, I just starred your comment. Comment of the day. The COD. Not the catch of the day. Comment of the day. Billy gets the COD with the ZZ Top. There you go, Billy. For that, you receive nothing. Sorry. I'm on a budget here. So, yeah, we're winding down here. Try and go a few more minutes. If you guys got anything you want to talk about, bring it on. Um, Purdue over-unders 4.5 games. I'm kind of surprised at that. Indiana 5.5. Nebraska 7.5. That one I could see going over. That they got the juice on the over at -140. So Vegas is thinking the same. Northwestern 4.5. The Buckeyes obviously 10.5. We're going over that, no doubt. The Cheaters 8.5. I got them before they dropped it. It was 9.5. I took the under on that. Oregon 10.5. I'm taking the under there. The juice is equal on both sides, -115. So I think Oregon is going to be in for a bit of a fucking of a surprise. They're not used to playing big dudes of the Big Ten in the trenches, especially. You know, uh, Wisconsin's got some big old cheese eating dudes that will roll right through your Oregon Ducks. So I think Oregon's going to be in for a rude awakening, even against Penn State, maybe, or the Cheaters. The Cheaters, that's going to be a good one, man. I can't wait to see that game. Um, where is that? Let me find that real quick. Buckeyes, Cheaters. Oops, cheaters. That is November 2nd. Oregon goes to the big house. That's not going to be a gimme. That defense is real. They're going to beat the hell out of Dylan Gabriel, cover their receivers, and they're not going to give up a lot of running yards either. So that's going to be a good game. I don't think we have a spread for that. Let me see. I don't think there's a spread out for that one yet. Let me double check though. The Fresno game is out for the Cheaters. 21.5 is the spread there for the Cheaters. I got Michigan, Washington. Cheaters by 9.5 going out to Washington. And the Buckeyes are still favored by 9. So Cheaters are definitely losing 3 easily, possibly 4. So no spread out for that one yet. But that's going to be a good game. Maybe Oregon can beat up on the Cheaters a few weeks before we get them. Soften them up a little bit, and we'll finish them off. That Texas game going to Ann Arbor is going to be awesome. Let's see what Quinn Ewers has against a good defense. That's going to be a nice little yeah, exactly, Billy. I'll be rooting for Texas as well. But yeah, that's going to be a nice little ball game, and that's going to be a tester, kind of a show us what Texas has for this SEC schedule. Before they start that, because they do not have it easy. They got so Cheaters week 2. You got Oklahoma, of course, Georgia, Florida, and then they finish at A&M. That's a dicey schedule, man. I would want no part of that. But that's what the beauty of this, conference realignment brings us. Brings us a lot more huge matchups, more than ever before. So, because all these good teams are, in the same conference, are forced to play each other. So, yeah, I'm with you there, Billy. Cheer for the Longhorns. I usually do the horns down. I'll be doing the horns up that day. But anyway, I'm going to get out of here, go pour a cocktail, get my Friday night started. And I think tomorrow I'll go to maybe an apple orchard or maybe a pumpkin patch instead of watching football. Can't say that with a straight face. Anyways, all right, I'm getting out of here. Talk to you later, Billy, and everybody else watching. Don't forget, Monday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. No Sunday night. Monday. Sunday is Monday. All right. Hopefully we'll see you then. Talk to you later. Go Bucks.